Hi everyone, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Can you believe it? It's been a week. Today signifies a week where we've established our group and have begun the practice of the 7 spiritual laws of success. We started last Tuesday and here we are again at Tuesday, and we're back to the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. This one is my personal favorite. I love this one because it's all about empowerment from my perspective. It's all about what we can do to achieve the things that we most desire in our lives. So here's how it's going to work. I'm not going to repeat everything related to the laws each week because we've already recorded those. So my practice is going to be review what I said last week and build upon it. Either add some more elements to the law that I didn't include in the first video, and or provide examples of what these laws may look like as we go out and practice them in real life. Because what we think in theory and what we actually see in life can be entirely different. So that's the way that I'm going to approach this. I would encourage you to always go back and look at the first video of week 1 just to refresh yourself with what the law is and what the focus is. And remember, each week or each day of the week, we're going to be focusing and giving our conscious attention to one law so that we can become more proficient in that law. That doesn't mean now that you've been exposed to all of the rest of the laws that they're not going to find their way into a different day of the week where we can actually apply them. When we recognize an opportunity to apply another law on a day that we're focusing on the law of the day, we could still apply it. That's growth, that's progress, and that's what we're looking to do. That's how this process becomes integrated. So let's get back to today's practice, the law of karma, the law of cause and effect, all about ownership. This is what we're going to do. We're focusing on our decisions and our choices today. We're being in the present moment today. We're making sure that we're consciously aware of what we're choosing, and we're paying very close attention to the results that we're receiving as a result of what we've chosen to do. So here's a beautiful story I want to share with you. I think it's an incredible example of the law of cause and effect, or the law of karma. Back in 2010, I was fortunate enough to vacation in Italy, and while I was there, I took a tour of the Vatican. And our tour guide shared a story about the process that they follow when electing a pope. And she said that when it's time to elect a pope, all of the cardinals descend on the Vatican, and they're taken care of by the Vatican until a decision is made. She said one time it took 3 years to elect a pope. 3 years! She said immediately upon the conclusion of that election, the Vatican came back and said, going forward, this is what's going to happen. Day 1, you're going to have a place to stay. We're going to feed you 3 meals. Day 2, you'll have a place to stay and you'll get 2 meals. Day 3, a place to stay and 1 meal. And after that, you're on your own. Take as long as you need. She said, since then, a pope is always elected in 3 days. Apparently, the Vatican took a look at that other election and said, boy, this cost us a lot of money and we need to implement some changes. So immediately they did that, and I think the result was extraordinary. Perhaps someday we'll be able to do that in our own country, implement some things that will actually create better results for the American citizens. We'll see what happens. So as I go through this law, as I practice this law, a couple of things come to mind to me. First of all, I think about what Einstein said, and he said, a problem can never be solved on the level that it's created. So what that means is when we're not getting results, we have to continuously modify the things that we're doing and solve the problems by trying new things. That's my take on that. Another thing that often comes to me when I think about the law of karma, or cause and effect, is that when we do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So we need to change things. So as we go through our lives, we've got to be paying attention to what's happening and step back from the situation, think about what we can do differently, what responses we can provide, what actions we can take that will actually create a different ripple. Remember, the law of cause and effect is all about we're putting something out there, it goes out with the tide, a result comes back in, right? It's the ebb and flow. To have all the power at our disposal, we've got to do something different. We've got to own it, and we've got to do something different as a result of what we're experiencing. While I was at the Chopra retreat, Seduction of Spirit, David G shared a great story that makes an excellent point to the fact that when we actually change things in our life, we could see the after effects or the benefits, or sometimes even the ramifications in other elements of our life. In his story, it was actually unanticipated benefit. And here's how it goes. I don't remember all the specifics of the story, and yet I remember enough to be able to make this point for you. He was sharing something about Donald Rumsfeld, and he was saying that there were some things that he was saying that he wasn't in support of. And basically, he learned that one of the beverages that he would drink every day, he learned that that organization supported Donald Rumsfeld. When he learned that information, he immediately decided he was no longer going to support the beverage company because he didn't like the fact that they supported David Rumsfeld, and this was a principle thing. He didn't want to contribute to that success at all because he didn't agree with it. So he immediately decided to make a different decision and no longer was going to drink the beverage that that company was producing. He chose something else instead. As a result of that, what he noticed was he drank less of the new beverage, and he started seeing different results in the health and wellness element of his life because he started to slim down as a result of taking in less sugar. So I think that is a beautiful example also that when we take a stand about something that we don't want to support, that's a decision, that's a choice, we may see benefits in other elements of our life that may be unanticipated, and that's a beautiful thing. So we need to be paying attention to the results that we're getting in all facets of our life, in all elements of our life, and we need to be able to exercise our judgment and our ability to discern whether or not those results are the results of choices that we've made in other areas. Are those outcomes something that we want or something that we don't want? That's our ability to step back, look at it, see what we can modify and tweak, and take a new action. So that, in a nutshell, is what we want to give our focus and attention today. It's the law of karma, just for today, our undivided focus and attention on our conscious decisions and choices and behaviors that we're making. Own our results. That's the most empowering thing that we can do. And rock on. Have an amazing day today. We'll check in tomorrow with Wednesday's law and Wednesday's practice. And until then, we'll see you soon. Bye.